Monday to take from that pop song from the 80s. Crazy stuff happening. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let me check on X, make sure that people can hear me over there. Happening. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let me check. Yep, looks like people can hear me over there. Let me throw a little quick GM in the chat here and pull my chat up here so I can see it. Yeah, crazy day. A little a little late. I had a lot of trades and stuff I was doing when this news hit of Trump is kind of the catalyst for all of this. But welcome if you're just joining us. Let's start by looking at Bitcoin. We'll look at the futures here in a second. First off, I'll say it was crazy. By the way, I'm back from Vegas, so nice to be back. A little better lighting, a little better internet, all that stuff. It's always a little crazy when you're on the road, especially when it's an hour earlier. But good to be back and have a big pump day today. We'll look at the futures here in a second, but since the market's already open, let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now, 70,836, up 3.1% for the day. We were all the way down in mid 67s when some Trump came out with a tweet or a post on True Social today. We'll talk about that and what's kind of causing all this. But Ethereum 2,148, up 3.3%. We've got XRP, $1.42.8, up 2.3%. And Solana, $90.59, up 3.8. Got all the way down early this morning, 85.29. So quite a jump. Let's look at what the stock market's doing here. All based on some news from Trump. We knew over the weekend, you probably saw he set that 48-hour deadline, and that was coming up tonight, I believe, this afternoon. But yeah, the NASDAQ, let's take a look at it. Crazy, the futures were 1%, and they kind of got down to a little over 1% on average a couple hours ago, and then boom, news came out, Trump, everything changed. The NASDAQ now at up 22,000, up 1.78%. The Dow, similar, up 46,315, up 1.62%. And the S&P, more of the same. So almost a 4% swing on Trump's news there. So let me find that. Let's see. It's that one. See if this is it here. Oh, this is it for sure. Hold on. Okay, so this was it. Let's pull up his thing. He had a nice post with my guy over there. I was in one of the Bitcoin spaces, and let me just show you this. Maybe I didn't click on it or something. Oh, maybe. Oh, here it is. Here's the tweet I wanted to say. So yeah, basically, you can see that massive green candle. I don't know, about 5 a.m., about 7 a.m. roughly Eastern time today. And Trump came out and said, I am pleased. So he obviously doesn't proofread his post. I am pleased to report that the United States of America and the country of Iran have had over the last 2 days very good and productive conversations regarding a complete and total resolution of our hostilities in the Middle East. Based on the tenor and tone of these in-depth, detailed, and constructive conversations, which will continue throughout the week, I have instructed the Department of War to postpone any and all military strikes against Iran, power plants, and energy infrastructure. And we had this huge positive reaction. Now it got interesting because Iran came out and denied that. I'll show you that post. They came out there. They came out and kind of denied it, and then Trump on some of the morning shows said, "Yeah, we've had talks. I'm not sure why they're denying it." So this just might be more of the 4D chess. I mean, each government's going to tell their people what they think they want to hear, what benefits them the most. So anyway, we will let this play out. But I would say based on how well things are holding out, I'm going to go with the Trump narrative at this point. I think that's more credible. And obviously he's the one holding all the cards anyway. And anyway, that's what we had. So pretty positive out. You know, I'd heard some rumblings overnight of a potential ceasefire, maybe till May or something like that. Some people were talking about that. But I'll tell you, all the TA was looking really bad. Everyone was looking for a dump below 60, you know, especially if, you know, we're kind of at a Trump literally drew a line in the sand. I mean, we saw quite a drop. Bitcoin went from, well, let's look at Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin, Solana. Bitcoin had gone, let's look at the weekly, you know, to kind of tell the whole story. Okay, so Bitcoin was at a high, of course, of 75. Towards the end of the week, we were here around 70, 71, you know, close to 71. And then with the news, we immediately dropped, probably that drop right there with that ultimatum on Saturday, kind of afternoon. He got that ultimatum and we dropped down to about, that's it. We dropped down to about 68, under 69. And then we kind of were 68, 69 all weekend for the next 24 hours or so. And then we dropped, if we look back on the daily, we dropped all the way down to 67,443. So looked like futures were as looking to look up negative as high as negative 2%. And then you can see right there when that got posted on True Social and disseminated through X and everywhere else. Kind of came back a little and then is grinding its way up. So, yeah, now we're sitting at 71,150. So I would say overall, really good news. I would say this is really good news for everything that's going on. We're working our way up. So I get hopefully we do see a peace deal happen. I just filled up my gas tank with a 10-cent off because of my, you know, loyalty card or whatever. I still paid $127 gas, diesel before my 10% discount was 10-cent discount was $5.20. So good to $127 to fill my tank. So I'll post that later. But anyway, good news. Crazy weekend, really. You know, Trump drawing a line in the sand, and now it seems to be turning positive. But let's look at some of the other news we had out there that we were putting together before this news. U.S. Kobesi letter. The U.S. housing market demand is collapsing. I can't hear any audio on here or X. Interesting, Artie. Let me look. Let me pull my X up and see if I can hear. Yeah, Artie. Let me see. Can't hear any audio on here or X. Yeah, I can hear it on my X, Artie. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Thanks for letting me know that. I always like that to check, but. Yeah, mine is, I was able to hear it when I put it on mine. So hopefully everyone else can hear as well. Let me just do this. Let me check my output here from my audio here. I'm seeing audio working fine. So I don't know. Might be on your end, might be, hopefully people can hear me. But yeah, thanks. Always let me know that in the chat. I appreciate that just in case. Maybe try round tripping it and let me know. I haven't I haven't got YouTube pulled up, but on X I can hear fine. So maybe do a round trip. I'm not sure what's going on. But I think people can hear. I think everyone would be gone by now. But yeah, well, let's continue. Maybe do a round trip, Artie, and let me know if it fixes it. One of my good buddies, year-long buddy, Artie there. So I want him to be able to hear and checking it out on YouTube as well. So I don't have too many followers on YouTube. So appreciate that. And thanks, Artie. Let me know if you can get it sorted. At least it's working on mine when I try it. So anyway, back to U.S. home sales fell 17.6% in January, month over month, to 586 units, the lowest since 2002. But this marks the largest monthly drop since 2013, far worse than the 2.7% expected. So check this out. They expected a 2.7% drop, and instead we got a 17.6. The reason this matters to us is because, look, all the Fed cares about, they've got a dual mandate. They care about unemployment. They care about interest. Trump cares about those things. But on top of that, he cares about the extra $1 trillion a year we're paying in interest on the debt and the housing market, which is killing the economy. And this is an example of that. So the money printing will commence cuts this year. We'll see. I saw some crazy thing on Polymarket. Only a 15% chance of a rate cut this year. I'm going to check that out today. Let me make a note. I'm going to I just made a note of that. If that's true, I'm definitely throwing some money on that, because there's no way. Absolutely no way. Yeah, look at the only good argument against Bitcoin ever as a store of value is it's too volatile, right? Or even investment. And now it's like, I got that when I was down. I was talking to a guy. He was actually very sincere, talking to him in Vegas. And I'm like, dude, silver dropped 40%, in a day. So let's not talk about that. But look at this, man. Gold has crashed 25% from its record high and dropped below 4,200, hitting a 100-day low of 44,163. Remember, it was like $5,500. Silver crashed 50% from its all-time high and hit a 3-month low of 161. Together, they have wiped out $13.5 trillion in the last 53 days, while everyone expect them to be a safe haven. Look, it's basically the dollar's so strong and the T-bills are paying so much that's what's killing them. Since this war started, Bitcoin's been outperforming. Look, I told people, I don't know. I'm not an expert on gold and silver. For all I knew, they were going to go up, but it was Phil and Toppy, and Bitcoin was way underperforming. I told everyone you ought to be buying Bitcoin, and that was obviously turned out to be true. But always do your own research. But I don't see Peter Schiff, dumbass Peter Schiff, who I know doesn't believe what he says, but he's engagement farming and it works and whatever. But and he sells gold. He's just talking his book. I get it. There's rumors are circulating a tentative deal has been struck between the White House, U.S. lawmakers on stablecoin yield and news. That would be huge, man. If we get this war settled and we get the Clarity Act and the stablecoin, market clarity bill passed, man, I think things could go crazy. And then we get a new Fed chair. Fear and greed at 8. Let me refresh this, right? We've been in fear and greed. I think we jumped out of extreme fear one day, but they're saying 46 days in extreme fear. But let's refresh this and see, because I would think that it's changed a little with this pump. But man, all the way down into extreme fear again. I tell you, you buy extreme fear on Bitcoin, it usually works out very well. Extreme fear. I'm going to type in fear and greed. Let's see if it's changed at all since I saved that slide this morning. Nope, it still hasn't had time to a change, but it will, of course. But yeah, I'm telling you, be greedy, be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. Look, when everyone was FOMOing into gold, I was saying, let's buy Bitcoin. And that worked out well. My guy, I was on a Heinecoin community space early this morning. I get on like 4:30 my time. Great little community there. They're all about education and stuff. But anyway, they posted this. Let me read the exact quote from Trump. Maybe I already read it. No, I already read it. Sorry, I forgot. I already jumped forward and read this. Okay. Well, I guess I saved it twice. Okay. Michael Saylor bought 1,031 Bitcoin for 76.6 million. Average price, check this out, 74.3026. Last week was one of the only weeks he actually bought the dip. But anyway, he doesn't care because he's locked in for the long term. But he now owns 762,099 Bitcoin. His average price is 75,694. So he's still billions upside down. He doesn't care. Follow the smart money. There's nobody smarter than Michael Saylor, in my opinion. Yeah, that's weird. Already now on X and can't hear me either. I'm going to check one more time. Let me see if mine is working on X. He's still billions upside down. He doesn't. Yeah, it's fine over for me. But man, thanks for letting me know. Hopefully, maybe you can listen on the recording. Maybe it'll work then. But thanks for letting me know. But it seems like it's working. I see more people joining, so I'm assuming it works. But thanks. And now I've seen Hardy try it both on X. But yeah, that's very bizarre. We didn't work on YouTube or X. Maybe it is your phone, Hardy. Yeah, I think it might just be you because I don't think we'd have. Now I'm seeing 20 listeners. I don't think everyone would be listening if they couldn't hear me. So, but yeah, no, always let me know that because I don't. Worst thing is to have a space for an hour. I'm talking and no one can hear me. I check it 2 or 3 times before, but you never know. But I got my fiber optics in here, my new router. It's been working a lot better. Camera and everything. Now I probably need to get a better backdrop instead of this lame green screen here. But anyway, this is what I was telling you. The foreign minister came out and denied talks. They're just playing the game. They're just playing the game. Anthony Scaramucci, billionaire Wall Street investor, kind of hates Trump. They hate each other, but he's a big Bitcoin bull. His son's the one that bought that $1.6 million Pokemon card off of Logan Paul the other day. He says we're going to hit 1 million by 2032. My bullish prediction is 1.4 million by 2030, but cool to see people see other people talking that. Bernstein, they came out today. They said the Circle and Coinbase are the best proxies for stablecoin exposure because they're both the big investors in USDC partnership as agents payments emerge. So Bernstein is saying the best way to play this stablecoin pump is Coinbase and Circle. I think I'm going to buy both of those. I got to find a way to buy them online, maybe through Robinhood. I guess I could do Robinhood or something like that, but I don't have any U.S. brokerage accounts. So maybe I'll have my wife do that. I like both of those as a good exposure for that, but Bernstein thinks so as well. Iran saying Trump retracted. He's scared because they said they were going to hit the power plants if they get hit. So, look, I'm going to go with Trump. I think Wall Street's going with Trump. I don't believe what the Iranians are saying because Trump's the one holding all the cards, not them. But I'm telling you, I don't think their neighbor is going to be comfortable with them having any kind of major buildup in the future because they see now what they're doing. Saudi Arabia guy came out and called them the new Hitler, So the Saudi prince. So this was interesting. I don't know much about him, but OnlyFans obviously blowing up all over the place, doing billions of dollars. Leonid Ravensky, I think he's Ukrainian, dead at 43. I think he died of cancer. So, yeah, OnlyFans majority. I think that position is worth like $8 billion. Died of cancer. So, sad. Some people may be happy about that aren't OnlyFans. Might think it's the wrath of God or something. But anyway, sad to see a successful entrepreneur, even though maybe what he did is questionable. I mean, a lot of girls making a lot of money on that, I guess, but probably not the most, I don't know, probably not the most honorable business. But anyway, crazy. You get all that money and boom, dead. Hong Kong police can now demand phone passwords under new national security rules. So no, less and less free speech. I wouldn't be surprised to see UK doing this next, but they can come up and demand you unlock their phone so they can see what you're doing. Not cool. And of course, we see all this horrible 5-6 hours delays because the Democrats will not vote to fund TSA. So Trump sent ICE in. So ICE is hitting all the airports today to help them out. So nicely played by Trump. UAE restarts their Habshan gas plant, but most LNG exports remain shut due to the Straits of Hormuz closure. Some of these, they're saying 5 years to be fully functional, back to where they were. Trump said peace deals happen. He's not sure why. He's saying that on Fox today. Not sure why they deny it. Once again, 3D chess. Let's take a final look at the markets. We're out here. Thanks, everyone, for joining me. I think it's going to be a good week, but it could also be a crazy week. So strap in. Up 1.82%. Dow up 1.99%. NASDAQ 2%, 2.03%. Full 4% swing in the last 2 hours from from negative 2% futures to positive 2%. Bitcoin continues to go. Bitcoin at 71,391, up 3.8. Let's take a quick look. Last thing here, just at some of our altcoins here. Cyrene, man, this Cyrene was freaking crazy. Hit 3 billion over I don't know if it was crimed or what, but man, hit 3 billion. I don't know much about it, but crazy, man. AVAX 5.4, Dow 6.4, Virtual 5.2, Kite. I'm glad Kite's coming back. I was down on my Kite. Everything green, looking great. Yeah, good day, man. Very few things aren't in green. Things exploding. Man, thank you, everyone, for joining me. We'll see what happens. I'll be back tomorrow. You can join me on my Bitcoin GM morning show coming up right now on X. But have a